Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the Blue Monday live watch-along. Oh, the glamour for Ipswich Town's trip to Barrow in the FA Cup. We are going to be here live for the next 2 hours and hopefully not any more, because that means penalties, doesn't it? But yes, we are going to hopefully be enjoying this game. And the idea is, if you've never done one of these before, you can watch along with us. Or if you haven't got access to the game, you can just get involved in the chat. Let us know your thoughts. You can ask us plenty of questions. I'm sure we'll get distracted during the game. And we are going to react to the action. And for the inevitable question, no, we can't show the game. Because, Richard, I don't know about your bank account. I don't have enough money to buy the rights to the FA Cup. But Richard is here with me. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm... Yeah, we'll figure this one out as we go along. As I tweeted earlier, there's a good chance that this might be more enjoyable than watching the actual match or listening to what Mr. Grant Holt has to say about proceedings as well. But I'm very good, thank you. How are you, Ben? We never ask you how you're doing as well. How are you?
I'm lovely. I was on shift at 7 a.m. this morning. I've done various walks trying to control babies and dogs.
We've already had a change of wardrobe as well, everyone, behind the scenes.
You stitched me up there, haven't you? So, look, do let us know how you see this going. Get involved in the comments. We're going to have a little look at the teams, and then we'll get into the action. It's about 13 minutes from kickoff. I'm currently looking at Terry Butcher, who was brilliant on the BBC coverage of Ipswich and Lincoln back in the day.
He did not hold back, did he?
He didn't, and I suspect that he won't tonight either. So let me just make that a little bit bigger. Right. We can get your reaction first of all. Do let us know if you are alive and in the comments. Have your say. We're certainly going to have ours during the night. So I'll run through this, Rich, and then you can give your reaction. So Walton in goal is 1 tick for a first teamer. Kane Vincent-Young is 2. Enciala and Burgess with where we are, and Penny, that's probably a pretty first choice looking back four. We'll look at the bench in a minute. Aluko, Carroll, El Mizouni and Fraser in a what looks very much like a 4-4 effing 2, for goodness sake, unless Richard Fraser gets forward alongside James Norwood and Caden Jackson. That's very Paul Lambert, isn't it? And that becomes some kind of 4-3-3. I don't think it's going to. No. I think I don't blame John McGreal, really. Just simplify, keep it very straightforward. Rich, we'll get your reaction in just a second. Let me just do the bench. Hladky, Danassian, Kenlock, Wolfenden, Morsey, Chaplin, Pigger on the bench, and Ben Morris as well. What's your thoughts on that team? Please do say hello if you're watching and you're in the comments, and give us your thoughts on that team. And Richard's going to give us his.
I mean, I haven't got a huge amount of quarrel with it. I'm interested to see Walton in nets. Our good mate Sully has been has tweeted us and queried whether that's anything we can read into that in respect of his interest in January and possible transfers elsewhere.
That's a good point. Yeah,
milking as much Walton as we can out of him. But yeah, I mean, that back line looks pretty balanced, doesn't it? And am I right in seeing that Sonny Aluko is captain as well?
You are.
Which is interesting, isn't it?
Can we just give a quick excuse? SofaScore is often wrong. Okay, so we'll assume that they're correct on Sonny Aluko being captain, but yeah, I don't know who else would be in the running there.
No.
When you think about it, maybe Walton, Vincent Young, not so much. I'm looking at I suppose Carroll by career
experience and
career standing, but Aluko outranks him, doesn't he? So there we go. For Barrow then, and look, you know our podcast. We don't blag when we don't know. I'm not going to profess to be an expert on Barrow. We need Seb on for that, I think, don't we?
I've got him to forward me his notes from 2 weeks ago.
Legend. There we go.
2 changes for them though. That's as much.
Okay. So Farman in goal. A back three which they did play in the last game of Grayson, Platt, and Jones. Bruh and Brown are the wing backs. Captain Banks and White. Now I do recognise the names Robbie Gotts and Jordan Stevens. They're both Leeds boys, aren't they? Josh Gordon up top. Manager Mark Cooper. Let me do the bench, see if I recognise any more names there. Lillis, Ellis, Kay, Beadling, Hutton, Jones, Taylor, James, Zanzala. I remember Seb picking him out, although maybe that's just the most exotic name and the easiest one for me to remember. Any thoughts on Barrow, Rich, other than please just beat them?
I can give you the 2 changes. So Josh Gordon has come back in up front, and it was.
Can I say Gordon's alive at that point? Would that be sensible? I'm now going to say it every time he touches the ball.
We could do whatever we want. Hopefully, you don't have to talk about him too much. And Matt Platt, which is a nice rhyming couplet, comes back into defence in place of Mark Ellis. I think probably from the research, and I did a very quick bit of research before we came in. The guy to look out for really is the captain. Ollie Banks has got a ridiculous amount of goals and assists and yellow cards for a central midfielder.
Let's have a little look, see if we can have some fun with Ollie Banks. Score. I like his heat map as well.
Yeah.
7 goals in 19 starts from
no assists.
Midfield. Really? Where's the yellow card count then? Discipline.
It's got 9
yellows. That's already a
suspension.
Second suspension of
the season. Too much fun, yeah.
Isn't it? Get your comments in. Norwood 3 says Barles. Hopefully that's the amount of goals.
Talking about Jackson and Norwood's a nice throwback to 2019, isn't it? Do you remember?
Is it
good old days?
It's a throwback. I don't know whether it's a nice one. Paul, I know Paul Strutt. How you doing, Paul? Evening, gents. Don't get Jackson for cups. Should be fringe players only. James, I was thinking all day, wouldn't it be good to do wouldn't it be good? And here you are. Thank you,
James. Monk has manifested a watch-along. That's what it's about.
Please do get your comments in. As I say, the idea is we're going to react to all the action as it transpires. I am on an ITV4 TV feed, so I may be slightly ahead of anyone watching on Smart TV or Sky Go or Now TV or whichever. So what we'll do during the game, I'll give you some timestamps and you can either pause us or if you're ahead of us, which I don't think you will be, with my beautifully maintained system here in the office, Richard, then you can do it the other way around and hopefully we get all lined up and you can get your thoughts in. Just quickly, Rich, in fact, they've already kicked off. We've got a couple of Premier League. Oh, we've already got a goal in one.
Yeah, Brighton kicked off at 50:30, didn't they?
Brighton versus the Wolves. Palace are 1-0 up against Southampton, and Wilf Zaha has scored. Arsenal are playing West Ham. I have got that on my other screen. So whichever game you're watching, if you just want to keep tabs on Ipswich and watch the Premier League, we don't blame you, frankly. So keep us in touch with whatever's going on there. And we will, in our main, try and focus on Barrow and Ipswich. Tim, evening, chaps. Is Jackson being put on the shop window, live on TV? Maybe. Oh, just quickly, Rich, before you answer that, I'm seeing some heroic, see if I recognise anyone behind there, Ipswich fans. In fact, I'm going to give them a little round of applause there. It's just a little square behind the goal. Looks like a gaggle.
And that lot, yeah.
Do you know some people who've got fair play, especially if they've travelled from Ipswich? What do you think to Tim's question there, Richard?
And maybe Norwood as well. And I mean, I'd be really interested to hear comments about the managerial hunt as well, which obviously lurches from one ridiculous rumour to the next. But there's a lot of players here who I'm looking at Fraser really. I'm really worried about Scott Fraser and where he fits in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, we've all expected Jackson Norwood to be disappearing off in January, aren't we? So this is not a surprise. But
we've seen Richard the sorry to interrupt. Excuse me, and then I'll cough all over you. It's not recurring, by the way. We've seen the obvious links already with Russ Martin and Scott Fraser at Swansea as well. So if he does want out, there's a very easy out to Swansea if he wants to take it as well. I when we were talking about good players that we came up against last season, Rich, Scott Fraser was very much one of them. So, but then again, Paul Cook's come and gone. So yeah, it'd be nice to see him stay there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I maybe I'm alone. If you're out there, let me know. There's a song somewhere there. I thought your brain would kind of click into it. I'm in the
Pink
Scott
Floyd,
Fraser. Yeah, if you want. Yeah, I'm in the Scott Fraser fan club. I just think he sees the game in a different way to a lot of players that we've got, and drop him into centre mids, and I quite like that idea. So it'll be interesting to see if he is an orthodox left midfielder today. That may be a better option as well, rather than a left winger. Who knows? But
I suspect we will see some driftage inside from Mr. Fraser, but I wouldn't blame him. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please get your comments in as we go. As ever, we're live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Please follow, like, subscribe, etc., etc. This will always be free here on YouTube, but if you do want to support financially, right next to where you leave your comments on YouTube, you'll see a little $sign, and you can super chat us as we go as well. The Ipswich players and the Barrow players, in fact, are now coming out. It looks blooming cold there as Christian Walton. He's a little bit taller and a little bit more less windproof. What do you think of the double black kit, Richard? Lovely.
I like it.
I like it.
It was a nice exclusive for Football Manager 22, wasn't it? I think they. We spoke to Dean Gripton about that. That episode's still available, by the way, on our pod feed. It was saying that the Football League handbook, you need to register the kits in advance. So that had already been taken care of months ago. And FM22 leaked it, but they're not putting it on sale, which is, to me, a massive mistake.
That's even better, though. The old.
But stick 200 on. Stick a 200 limited edition and stick a big chunk of it for charity or something. You know what I mean? Like, they'll go on an auction website, won't they? And it will go crazy, and they'll go on for 200, 300 quid, won't they?
And our very own Joe Fairs will somehow manage to get his hands on one.
Me and Joe have got a gentleman's agreement that the minute they go on sale, we sort it out.
Paul Butcher giving Holt some sh*t. You have stiff competition, gents. I think everyone wants to give Grant Holt a bit of the old verbal. Right, let's just bang through this team once more. ITV4 on their last ad break before we are going in. I'm seeing that god-awful COVID ad where all the germs
green
go around the screen. Yeah, disgusting. There we go. We're going to try and keep the COVID chat to as little as it's going to come up, though, clearly, isn't it? You can give me your thoughts on Burnley and Watford, Richard, being cancelled. And I follow quite a few of the Watford. I don't want to do clanging names, Josh. I know a couple of the Watford journalists as well. They were already up there by the time.
Oh man, no.
But it's even worse for the fans, especially if they've cancelled work and whatnot and paid out.
And also jumping on public transport as well, and possibly exposing themselves to, Anyway,
never expose
themselves. No, that's not what I meant. Damn it! It's too late. It's out there now.
Right, let me just bang through these teams. For Town, Walton in goal. We think 4-4, F in 2. Vincent Young, NCR, Burgess, Penny, Aluko, Carroll, El Mazzuni, Fraser, Jackson, and Norwood up top. For Barrow, looks like a 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it, 3-5-2. It's not a back four, we think. So Farman in goal, Jones, Platt, Grayson, Brah and Brown, the wing backs, White and Banks, look out for Banks, Gotts and Stevens, and Gordon coming back in. Yes, indeed. So I've just taken Richard's face out of the screen. Right. Gordon's alive. This looks very much like...
It's like a Christmas tree formation, isn't it? I was about to say.
Oh, the old Terry Venables.
Oh, yeah. It's just the season for it.
The Barrow stand looks a bit like Lincoln, where it doesn't go all the way to the edges. And I'm seeing
OCD.
I'm seeing some like 40-foot containers that have been turned into either porta cabins. This is brilliant. This is proper FA Cup. Now I wish I was there. The players all take the knee in respect of all forms of discrimination, and we respect the rights of those to either do or not do that. And we have kicked off Richard, we'll find out how far your feed is behind.
I'm still above the stadium with the
behind
drone.
mine.
Right.
I'll give everybody a timestamp about 1 minute in, and if you don't want to listen to Sam Matterface and Lee Dixon as Barrow come down the left-hand side with Gotts, you can listen to us. So do, when I give you the countdown, try and get yourself lined up and let us know whether you are ahead or behind. Have you kicked off yet, Richard?
No.
You might want to stick Radio Suffolk in your ears by the sounds of it if you're miles and miles
Maybe
behind.
I'll get the Twitter feed out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right. I'll watch it on delay. I'll give you the reaction a minute later.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll get you in about it.
Throwing to Barrow in from Brough. It's going to be worked out by, to Brown right wing back. Barrow on top for the first minute, it would be fairly reasonable to say. And they don't look like a long ball team. As soon as I say that, there's the big diag, but that's an easy head away for Kane. Vincent Young, not much.
They're up there in respect of possession. Barrow 50% on average, 73% odd completion. So they're pretty tidy.
It's difficult. You don't want to patronise these teams, but when you do come against a lower division team, you don't necessarily. And we've had endless conversations about passing as opposed to giving it direct. And the ball is back with the Barrow keeper Farman, who's gone long into the front. Big header by Enciala. All very, very scrappy, very messy. About three passes strung together by either team. Barrow having the better of that one, slid down the line, and that is going to go all the way out for a goal kick for Christian Walton. And Ipswich are going to have their first phase of possession. 90 seconds gone, Rich. Very messy. Barrow the better side, nothing to report.
And it looks like a flat 2 banks of 4, isn't it? It's a 4-4-2.
I haven't been paying attention, to be honest, on shape. I'm just trying to learn the Barrow players by sight.
It's fine. It's only because I'm about a minute behind, and there was a bit where the ball went up the pitch and Ipswich settled into 2 banks of 4. So it does look like Fraser's floating and pushing in as much as possible, but it is a 4-4-2.
Hook forward by Penny to no one in particular. Jones goes home to Farman. Horrible clearance by Farman. He shanked that. That's going to go out, isn't it? No. Penny's kept it in actually quite well. And Ipswich finally landed on the ball to have some possession. 2 minutes, 45 seconds into this one. And Toto Enciala plays it long and completely gives the ball away. It's back with Barrow. You're going to get to enjoy that in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Rich, by the sounds of it. Let me give you a timestamp. We're going to be at 3 minutes in 2, 1, stamp. That'll be 3 minutes we're on as Fraser tries to keep that in. I don't think he succeeds. So Barrow attacking throw down the right-hand side. And the home team's on top, Rich, so far, but no one's laid a glove on each other yet.
No. It's I'm just enjoying Barrow Stadium, really. It's definitely that mid. It reminds me a little bit of Bristol Rovers, actually.
Yeah, right. Barrow with the possession now. Jones tries to slide it into the front. He's giving it away to Penny, who's giving it to Enciala. Where are you going, Toto? Into the right back position. Back into Enciala. El Mazzuni goes home to Walton. Out to Burgess into El Mazzuni. As you can guess, the most passes strung together by either side here, but all in front of Barrow. El Mazzuni comes short to take it off Enciala and hoiks it down the ground. And, Ipswich have had 2 attacking phases and both have ended with a not very good pass forward and possession given away. So little bit nervy, Rich, as you can imagine. No one at the moment wants to play the ball through the lines and give it away. They're happier to play it long into the channel and give it away instead. But there you go.
I just wonder what the mindset is going into a game like this, because Barrow home team, because the whole setup was getting the replay at Portman Road, wasn't it? How do you suddenly switch into, can we do an upset here? I just don't get that.
Well, I think from the point of view of the narrative and the setup around the game, it was almost better for Barrow if Paul Cook was the manager. That had cup set written all over it, but obviously McGreal's literally gone in, and again, I don't blame. Oh, there's one into the channel now. And they've got the run now back. Oh dear, it's a dreadful finish. It was Gordon in on the
not alive.
In on the right-hand side of the box. He's onside. He slips round the back of Burgess, who has the turning circle of the QE2 there, bless him, and shanked. He's on an angle, Rich. It's not a half chance, it's a quarter chance, but quick ball over the top, and they had us on the turn there. I'll give them it.
I mean, looking at that's a back line that you wouldn't, you know, that 1v1. I don't know how quick Gordon is, but NCR Burgess aren't exactly quick, are they? That might be the opportunity, isn't it?
He's got the run. To be fair, though, Rich, Barrow haven't. That's the first time where the ball's just come straight out of midfield and in behind. So maybe that won't be the typical threat as they're playing it around the back three at the moment. Platt out to Jones. Jones comes inside, switches it. And yeah, Ipswich can't get a hold of the ball yet. Although they're going to get a chance from a restart now, are they? No, it took a deflection.
I mean that effort from Gordon. I'm just seeing that. I'm just seeing that now. That's how far behind I am. And you do kind of think the trouble is he got there is there's no one up with him, and that's again could be the issue for Barrow. And goes back to my point about mindset: is do you push forward or do you keep it tight as long as you can so we get nervous? And then
I mean, you make a good point though, Rich, in terms of me having a pop at him for having a shot there. You're right. He didn't have anyone to cross it to, did he? And in deference to Barrow, that was only because the ball went forward quickly. I think
not a great shot, was it?
Try and get support up to him, weren't they? It's fed up the line on the left-hand side. Barrow are, I don't want to say well on top, but Barrow are on top for sure here. Banks in central midfield, who looks a confident fella. You can always tell a confident fella, Rich, when he's got long hair in a nice half ponytail, you know. Oh, given away now. Oh, and it bounces off Tom Carroll. First time we've mentioned, I don't think we've mentioned Caden Jackson. We haven't mentioned Tom Carroll.
I'm still not sure where Caden Jackson's playing.
Everyone else has had a
I just saw Norwood sit. Norwood was for a minute there was deeper than Fraser and I assume it's Jackson.
Yeah, I suspect when they've obviously been told not to press the Barrow back three, so they're just dropping in a little bit deeper when that ball's playing out. And yeah, it is literally your classic 4-4-2. Here is Banks again in central midfield. Oh, they've gone for that ball in behind Burgess again. Burgess gets their head on it and Gordon tries to follow it up. Gotts was actually making the run in there. And if they got organised then, he was in, but it doesn't work out. You'll get a look at that in about 90 seconds, I guess.
But that does feel like the route, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they're not overly using it, to be honest. But yeah, 2 times, and I don't want to pile in on Burgess, Rich, but 2 times it's been a ball and they're chasing him down. I mean, like you said, there's 2 twin towers to chase down, isn't there, in terms of big, huge centre-backs. Perhaps Enciala will get touch tight and defend a bit more on the front foot in that way.
Get a bit worried when Enciala gets touch tight, though. He gets turned really easy.
I know.
Penny needs to drop in, maybe. If Fraser's going to roam a little bit down that side, maybe Penny needs to sit a little deeper.
When it's done well, though, Rich, I saw a lad called Levi Colwill. I don't know if you heard it. He's on loan at Huddersfield from Chelsea. One of the most aggressive defensive performances I've seen this season. He literally just attacked everything on the touch every time. So
that move that you were talking about, they had 4 up at that opportunity.
Yeah,
Barrow. I mean, they were behind
left. There was
Gordon, but so they figured that one out.
Penny heads away and has conceded a corner. Attacking corner to Barrow now, 9-10 on the clock. And Rich, I know you're a little bit behind. They are the better side here. I'm not going to well on top. I'll stop at they're on top, but they're most definitely on top.
I think it's more of a case that we've not really imposed ourselves at all, have we?
Agreed.
This 4-4-2 system, yeah. I'm not sure appears to be familiar to anyone.
Grayson's going to take the corner. He's held 2 hands up and just changed it to 1. You see Banks in the middle, Bruff, Jones. In it comes from Grayson. Easy, a free header away from Burgess. Helped back in. Banks hits the shot. Surely the offside flag's going up. It did. It did in the end. Oh, heart in mouth there. Shot deflected through. Bruff is in. I can't tell you yet where the flag actually went up there. Burgess should do better with the initial header clear. Oh, he's miles offside. Okay. False alarm.
This
Banks
is
hit
the situation with these is that you're watching it in real time. You have to respond to it, don't you? And you have to keep an eye on everything.
And if you get it wrong, the internet tells you as well, Rich, which is which is great. I'll be interested in your take on that. I think Burgess should do better. I think he's surprised that he gets such a free header shouldn't get a free header from a set play, attacker or defender like that, and then he just kind of heads it up in the air. His Carroll come short. I want to see El Mazzuni and Carroll on the ball. Carroll to El Mazzuni in the centre circle. Out it goes to Vincent Young. Vincent Young into the channel. It's so poor from Ipswich. So poor in possession so far. Barrow using the ball much better. Given away. Again, that's the third occasion where a nothing ball into the front has just been given away. And I don't know, Rich, you tell me. Players like to hide sometimes, but why not just knock it into centre midfield if you're going to just knock it into the front and give it away? There's one in the channel for Gotts to chase. Senciala fouled him? No. Goal kick. Beg your pardon, it was Gordon who chased in. So there you go, Rich. The 1 against 1 looks far more desirable with Senciala against Gordon than it does with Burgess, I have to say there. Senciala. Go ahead, go on.
We mentioned this at the start, as in who's the captain here? I don't want to put a downer on Aluko, but it doesn't feel to me like that's in his locker, that kind of thing. No. And obviously, Mazzuni inexperienced alongside Carroll, who is. I just don't know whether Carroll influences enough.
I don't want to be right about this, but after 11 minutes and 50, Rich, this smacks of a flaky defeat.
It feels like Lincoln. David Diamond, uninspiring in our WhatsApp.
The fabled chat. Here comes Grayson forward. Barrow well forward down the left. It's Kane. Big chance. Oh, over the bar from Gotts. It got right in down the left-hand side. I'm switching now, Rich. They're well on top. Barrow well on top in this one now. Nice little cutback. He's in a lot of space, Gotts. It's actually very well tracked by Tom Carroll, who just gets enough. I don't think he gets a block on it, but if Gotts has a free shot there, he's going to score. And he puts it over the top. I don't know whether he's on loan from Leeds, Gotts, or whether they signed him permanently. I don't know whether your spidey senses and the interweb can find that out, Richards. But I'm sure Gotts and Stevens. But
he was on loan at Salford last season, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, let me actually. So this went wrong last time we did a live show. I started wikiing stuff, and it told me that Mark Cooper was the manager of Forest Green.
Norwood drops into the 10, knocks it off to El Mazzuni. Rich, you're talking about players wanting to take responsibility. That's been El Mazzuni so far. He seems quite keen to come short and grab the ball. To be fair, so did Norwood then, coming off the 9 into the 10. El Mazzuni again. Possession for Town, but not doing a hell of a lot with it has to be said. Walton stood on the penalty spot.
Yeah, Gotts is permanent.
Okay.
I'm just watching that chance back again. Obviously, I'm a bit behind. I just had the and the replay as well. I mean, Carroll, as you say, covers all right there, but the issue I think is Vincent Young's not alert in the first place.
No. Well, when you get a 3-5-2 played nicely, Rich, and the left centre back can come forward and the fullback or the wing back rather can get right up the line, you do get that overload, don't you? So they worked it well.
What we're trying to do here, I'm not really sure I understand it.
Not make any mistakes and not lose, and it's not going terribly well. I think you said it best when can you impose yourself on the game, and really, other than El Mazzuni trying to get on the ball, and that's I'm clutching there. Nobody has, and Barrow are clearly the better side.
Joe's just remarked so many gaps, just can't get on the ball, and that's what I'm seeing at the moment. This huge gap in the middle of the pitch where there's no black shirts at all. It just looks really. And Burgess wants a quick early ball out. He's not getting it from Walton.
Some of us do say this about this old school 4-4-2 a lot, but that's a hill I've died on many times, and I won't again. But when you've got the two centre midfielders who want to drop in short, go figure, Rich. You get the grid out on your Sky Sports and draw the gap between.
I mean, Biles has made a really valid point here. We're kind of playing. a couple of times now I've seen us short goal kicks, and they quite like to press us up there. It just doesn't feel like it's work. Why play Norwood and Jack? They've not had the ball, have they? Norwood and Jackson.
No, I know.
I just feel like we've got a Rolls-Royce kind of central midfield pair, and not Rolls-Royce, but you get what I mean. It's a central midfield pair that's
be able to play
set up to pass and exactly right, play through, but we've not got the people around them to dovetail off it. It's all a bit weird.
El Mazzuni tries to find Penny, completely unforced error there, and I'm not to say it won't change if and when we can get on the ball, but it's not working at all. The forwards don't go and press the back three, so there's an overload there straight away. There's the natural overload in midfield when Gotts and Stevens drop off, and there's overloads down both sides so far. And they've been able to ping it behind and turn Burgess twice as well. So it's not good stuff.
Do you change
so
the shape?
far.
I mean, you could obviously drop Norwood into the 10 and stick Jackson up front, but we said that Jackson on his own up front doesn't really work, does it?
The only argument is, and I learned this in bands actually, Rich, you always give somebody a chance to redeem themselves, I think. So I think this shape and this team essentially deserves until they go behind to try and get things going. Fraser knocks it forward. Penny, Jackson into the box. Now, do you know what I mean? They deserve a period of trying to get on the ball. I suspect if they go behind, I suspect the shape is going to be changing, isn't it?
And is there another situation where we don't appear to do well against teams who play three at the back, do we, as well? I don't know if
don't appear to do well against anyone, Rich.
True. But it seems to be like the most teams are going to that, and we have struggled against it.
Yeah.
I just feel like, maybe I'm reading too much into that, but.
Here is Jones, the right centre back, knocks it into Banks in central midfield, forward early, and Ciala just loses it, but manages to get it back to Walton, who does go long this time with the left foot. Check out Richard's interview with Christian Walton on the channel. Not now. Well, we're busy now. Well, here come Barrow down the left again with Gotts. Gotts 1v1. El Mazzuni on the cover. Gotts comes inside. Good play by El Mazzuni to hold him up, and I think that is
that opening that you were talking about Jackson about a minute ago. It came from Fraser having the awareness to stop and put a foot on the ball, look around, turn, realise he had no one around him, and then pass it into Penny. It wasn't a brilliant pass, but I just think he's the only player really in the team that we've got with that sense.
Lovely ball by Banks out to the right wing for Stevens. Stevens crosses. Oh, Burgess sleepy. It's a penalty shout there. Nothing given. And I'm going to plead the fifth until I see the replay on that. Burgess very slow on the uptake there. And I dare say 18 cameras and an HD replay. And and you got some interest on that one. I'll plead the fifth until I get to see the replay on that. But little bit sleepy from Cameron Burgess at the back. And the game has stopped. So we're going to get a look at the replay. Ooh, I want another look. Let's have a look.
Joe Fairs is saying pen.
Yeah, that looks like a penalty to me.
Oh.
Yeah. There's no VAR in this, even though it's on the telly, is it?
No, they need.
Good.
Where are they going to put it, Ben? They need cameras
in one of the 40-foot trays.
They need a huge, massive screen to give the result as well.
I'll wait until you see that, but you've definitely seen them given.
Southampton have equalised the Palace, by the way. Ward-Prowse. Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you, Rich.
That looks like.
Wait for the second replay. Yeah,
I think he gets the benefit of the doubt because I'm not sure he's aware enough to see that the players. Is it Gordon who goes down?
Yeah.
Maybe he's not aware that he's there. Gordon's too quick, but maybe that actually works against him.
They've just given you the replay from actually behind the byline as well. I'm 60-40 that's a penalty. It's not a big 70-30 or 80-20, but it looks like we got away with one there, Rich. I don't know if you've seen any of the
I just think
the replays.
A little bit clumsy.
Have you had a slow-mo yet?
Yeah, I've had two different angles of it. There's the one behind, as you said, looks penalty-ish, doesn't it?
It does.
That's
the word. It's penalty-ish. It's not a stone waller, but I think if that was given, you wouldn't be in outrage saying that's never a penalty, would you?
That's good instinct from Gordon, isn't it? And has he got up? Yeah, on the live feed, because he stayed down for a bit, hasn't he?
VAR is apparently set up in Tesco, which is which is nice. It's just a bloke on a phone watching the ITV4 coverage. Palace 1, Southampton 2, Richard.
Oh, that was quick.
Spun around in 3 minutes there. Right. Not playing well here. Here's Tom Carroll in sort of deep central midfield. And yeah, here's your issue with things joining up. NCR's got it. Fullbacks are forward, but slightly too far away. NCR, that's a horrible ball.
There you go, Paul Strutt.
Giving it away.
On the ball is as terrifying as watching my 3-year-old trying to cross the road on a scooter.
Oh, I've got all that to come, Strutty. Yeah. There we go. Here's Brown. Brown inside to White. White to Banks. Given away by Banks. Caden Jackson back in. We are, on my feed, we're 21-7 in. And by far the better side, really, Barrow. And you want to see some incriminating numbers, Richard. 53 on the possession, 3 shots to 0, lots of zeros on our feed there. I don't think it's got the attack momentum. Let's have a look. Yeah, look at that. Embarrassing. Oh dear. It's going to be a chance for West Ham, is it? Shank wide. There we go. Did he ask the West Ham game?
What's the score, though? Is it?
It's nil. Address that, Rich. Barles, new manager has a huge task. What are they doing? Barles is right. Can we just exempt John McGreal for any blame for this whatsoever? I would be doing exactly the same. Keep it simple. Don't lose. But Rich, your reaction?
Yeah, I was about to say actually that this looks like a League One team. We look at the level we are at now, whereas before I think you always kind of gave us the benefit of the doubt. At the moment, and a lot of people, even on the pod, we hear we're not as good as we think we are. It does feel like that a little bit.
Slide rule there. It's Burgess does well actually to stand up to Gordon that time in the 50-50. Stephen, how poor has Toto been? Yeah, he's been poor. He's been no worse than no. I'll give El Mazzuni a 5 out of 10, and everyone else below, I think, so far. But yeah, it's been very poor. We'll give Walton a pass as well. Fraser, nice little turn there. Fraser tries to feed it through, well blocked out. Sorry, Rich, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you were going to play passing football out from the back, to Barnes' point before, you wouldn't be playing NCR and Burgess, would you? It just seems a bit foolish to do.
It is playing out from the back. As far as playing out from the back to, Kieran Dyer's on the screen and understandably is just lighting someone up. He looks furious, and I think he speaks for most of us there, Kieran. But Rich, to my point, it's not playing out from the back if it doesn't go one layer through the Barrow team. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, fine.
It's a few, but Kieran Dyer looks completely furious with
another person who we've done an interview with, who speaks very well and has a lot of ideas and an approach and
a lot of knowledge. That bloke, believe you me, and a lot of charisma as well. Which is, to be fair, Paul Cook had lots of charisma as well. So
he did. I mean, go back to the point about Miles was making as well. It just makes you wonder what the hell Cook was up to. It kind of feels like the worst of our fears about the coaching staff have come to pass, isn't it?
Here is Jones goes back home to Farman the keeper. Out it goes, and Barrow have an option into central midfield that we don't. Norwood chases down. Banks plays it out wide. Not a great ball, and it's going to be a restart for Town down the left.
Just notice that our grey stripes don't go down the back of the shirt, Ben, which angers me.
Is that triggering your football OCD?
I've got OCD.
Here comes Stevens down the right. Stevens cross takes a deflection. It's going to fall. He's tried to lift it to the far post there, White. You should have stick your foot through that, David Diamond would be saying there. Banks, here's Bruh. Gotts on the right wing, inside. Banks, Barrow with a lot forward. Banks tries to chip it in. Burgess gets under the ball. And it's glanced off the top of his head. Penny, excuse me. Penny's really had to tuck in from left back there. And we're getting to the point, Rich, where Barrow fans will be saying, we should be in front now, and I'm disappointed we haven't taken advantage of the first 25 minutes.
And if it was us, it would say we need to score one of these because they'll get one chance and they'll score it, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. Corner to Barrow. Oh, it's gone in short. The Teddy Sheringham corner is deflected and Barrow lead. And you can't say that they don't deserve it. Ipswich fast asleep from the corner. It goes in short. I think White is the scorer. Takes a deflection. It's a bit of a muggy goal in the end, but they do deserve the lead. Barrow 1, Ipswich 0. You're going to get that in a second, Richard. But
ITV4 have got what they wanted.
A frankly deserved lead. The corner goes in short. We are playing so badly. It's not true. Just asleep from the set play. Beg your pardon. Goal scorer is Stevens. Takes a little nick off El Mazzuni as well. It's a half turnaround and deflection in. So poor. And Barrow have a deserved lead here. It's Barrow 1, Ipswich 0 in the FA Cup. And Ipswich.
The worst thing is that it's quite a clever routine, but only because we're just not alert. You know, it's a lot. It's been pinged side foot along the ground, Ben.
That's
the routine.
I said it's the Darren Anderton and Teddy Sheringham, but it's not Darren Anderton and Teddy Sheringham taking the damn thing, is it?
Who's lurking on the edge of the area to stop that, though? Do you know what I mean?
It's a deserved. It's a poor goal, isn't it? It's a deserved lead. I've been full of praise for El Mazzuni, but I'm going to quote Andy Gray: "Take that one in the face." Do you know what I mean? Don't turn sideways onto it.
So much space, though, isn't he? It's Stevens, isn't it? Absolute acres of space, and we've talked about it as well. How there's huge gaps everywhere on the pitch. They don't know who to mark.
Shouldn't be any from a set play, should there?
I know. And Walton's not happy, is he? And quite rightly.
Well, Walton doesn't have a chance with that once it gets the deflection, does it? And it's fairly straightforward, isn't it? It's line the big guys up inside the 6-yard box and stick the corner in short. Barrow 1, Ipswich 0. And no surprise to anyone who's watched more than 30 seconds of this game. That has to be said. Hooked forward by Brown. Headed down by Burgess, only as far as Stevens. Norwood does well. Luco's going to try and lob that over the top for Jackson. Offside flag stays down. Header home. Jackson runs in behind. Good goalkeeping by Farman.
Just wondering if El Mazzuni turns his body away from the shot for the goal.
Rich, hands behind your back, taking the face, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just missed the replay.
Skip. We can't see the YouTube comments, actually. I don't know whether we've got an issue, whether we need to detach that feed. Apologies if you are commenting on YouTube and we can't see your comments. Do you want to have a look at that, Rich? Do you want to detach from YouTube and see if you can reattach? If you are on YouTube and you're commenting, sincere apologies, we can't see them. So maybe head over to Facebook.
Let me try that.
Hopefully, we'll start seeing them now. Apologies if you have been commenting and none of your comments have been read out. Here it goes down the line. Walton's going to see that one out. For a goal kick, 28:55 on the clock. John McGreal has just held up 3 fingers, 4 fingers, and 3 fingers. So change of shape incoming now. And as I was saying, Rich, you give them a chance to, to prove that it's the wrong shape. They have now. And I think, I don't know who's going to be the third centre half, but he definitely held up 3-4-3 there. So we'll see what happens with the Town team shape here.
Can I stop it running on YouTube and restart? Is that what you were suggesting?
I don't know.
I'm not sure I can do anything about it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, don't worry. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube, apologies. We can't see. Oh, here comes Stevens down the right-hand side. Stevens crosses in, chance on the near post and hit wide by Gotts and Barrow.
What I'll do is let me get on the YouTube stream and I'll read the comments out.
Yeah. Please do.
And I'll try not to have the audio on so everyone can hear it.
There we go.
There we go.
Another chance.
There we go. Thanks, FBI
Barrow.
Tractor. Rich is a legend. And I'm not just saying that. That's actual words.
That just happened to be the first one. Apologies if you are on YouTube or Twitter. We don't appear to be seeing the comments here on our feed. It's a long one forward. Jackson's chasing, headed away by Barrow. It's going to be a throw in to Ipswich. Feels like the first time they've been in the final third. We'll just keep an eye on a possible change of shape here. I'm not seeing it yet, to be honest. NCL is very wide right.
I'm seeing that chance again down the left, down our left.
NCL are into the channel, and it's a corner to Ipswich. Norwood chasing in behind. So, an attacking set play for the Town.
Just checking back through the YouTube comments.
It's
Why are we so poor?
It's scheduled as private, but it's not letting me.
Yeah, you can't change it now. I don't think. Maybe we could do a stop at half time, but then
let's do that and
different link for the second half.
Yeah.
Pablo Canugo, forget young up and coming coach or gun for hire. We need a priest/witch doctor.
Barry Fry to pee on the corner flag.
FBI Track, the new manager's wage demands have just gone up a few quid.
Fraser knocks that one inside to Carroll. Carroll to Luco to Vincent Young. Oh, given away poorly. Luco dives in and wins the tackle. Cleared, and NCL is going to help that one back. 31, 55 on the clock. Barrow 1, Ipswich 0. Barrow, very good value for their lead. That's brutal. It was the Kit Kat order for half time, not the team shape. In reference to the team shape, has Penny tucked in as a third centre back? No, he hasn't. So I don't think they have changed shape.
Just watching our own corner routine fall apart.
Pinged long diagonal looking for Jackson. Easily headed back. And gathered up by Farman in the goal. So, guys, I think the plan is at halftime we'll build a new feed, and you can join us in time.
Probably my fault, so apologies for
the second half. No problems at all. Means I can go for a
Stevie
break.
Shrimpton nearly threw his TV remote at the telly there. Luke Penny, strikers have had no service whatsoever. Yep. Totally
neither of the
midfield.
No midfield there. John McGreal's trying to cajole the troops.
John McGreal.
Congeal. It rhymes. It's got a rhyme. Jackson chasing down the right. Jackson's been brought down. Looks like a foul. Oh, it's gone the other way. Interesting. I actually share Caden Jackson's thoughts there. I thought he'd done quite well to run off the back of Platt. I'll plead the fifth as usual until I see the replay, but I think I agree with Caden on that one, that if that was a foul, it was going the other way. But I don't want to sound like a grumpy old bias supporter.
I'm just going to set up the broadcast for the second half so it's ready and waiting.
Well, if we can get there early. We'll change over at halftime, Rich. Yeah, no worries.
I'll put myself on mute so you can't hear me tippy-tapping on the keyboard.
Here come Barrow down the right again. Brown. White. Brown to white. It's a very Reservoir Dogs, isn't it? Down the line, it goes back to Brown. Brown feeds it in. Huge space there. Is the offside flag going up? It doesn't. Here comes Stevens down the right-hand side. Stevens crosses in. Oh, it's gone loose on the back post. Surely 2-0. Oh, my goodness me. Barrow lead 2-0.
Should we not bother? Let's not bother with the second half.
Oh, so bad. So bad indeed. I wonder whether the flag was going to go. It was a huge gap between centre-half and full-back, and I thought there may have been an offside. Clearly not. It goes down the right. Cross goes into the middle, bounces once, It's headed back. Kieran Dyer rubs his eyes, and Gotts, with the freedom of the north of England, he's tight on the offside, I have to say.
But then they could have had a penalty, couldn't they? You know.
In it goes. Again, well, if that header back is deliberate, it's a beautiful header back. I'm not quite sure how deliberate that is.
Worth mentioning, Barrow 19th in League Two.
Yeah,
5 wins
very,
all season.
Very good value for this.
The issue that there's no one in the area.
Let's have a look. I'll give credit. If that header back by Brough is deliberate, that's a very good assist on the run.
Neither of the centre backs attack the ball.
Yeah, in deference to the centre backs, I'd like to see that ball into the middle in the first phase of that, and whether Gordon comes from an offside position. But look, you hold your hands up after that. It's pants, isn't it? 36 gone. Barrow 2, Ipswich Town 0, and televised FA Cup embarrassment once again.
So the issue there is Penny pushes up to press the ball. Burgess has to slot into left back as a result. So there's a huge gaping chasm in the middle. NCR doesn't attack the ball, doesn't attack the cross, and there's no one backing up for Vincent Young down the right-hand side. And obviously no centre midfielders to drop in either. It's just messy. Messy.
Horrible. Aluko knocks that into El Mazzuni. Referee could have played advantage then.
I think that header is meant.
Yeah, if he did, I mean, he knows. And if it is, it's a very good assist. I'll give him credit there. Knew I should have watched Kirsty and Phil on Channel 4. Is that what we're up against here tonight?
This is the competition.
We are a joke. Slightly. Tim, being outplayed by Barrow, we look like a pub side. Oh, hum. I've not really got any comeback to any of that. Can't
You're
disagree.
not wrong.
Again, guys, if you are commenting on YouTube, we've got a problem with the YouTube feed. We're going to put a different stream up. Rich, we can get it tweeted down our socials at halftime, and you can come and join us for the glorious second half comeback, which may or may not be coming in this one. Barrow 2, Ipswich Town 0. Goal kick, which Walton is going to take. Burgess is, to the annoyance of some of the fans behind the goal there, has come short, and I think Walton's going to call him to stand down and take this one long.
There we go. So we've got one created for 10 minutes time.
Lovely. So you're going to have to join us on a different feed for the second half. Don't worry, it's going to be way better. I promise. It's going to be awesome.
Going to the YouTube
comments. Go ahead. Read a few out.
There's a lot of swearing and FFSs. Luke, where's Aluko? Spends most of his time more central than out wide. Jack Swan, I don't want to sound the alarm, but even after everything we've enjoyed in recent years, I've never succumbed to depression. This is depressing. Uber ITFC, this club is officially cursed. Yeah. Michael Warner, why didn't we just play the under 23s? We'd have had an excuse if we lost. And I'm sure they've been better than this.
That's true. But remember, we would be massive hypocrites, particularly on the podcast, if we endorsed that, having moaned every time a reserve team was sent out in the FA Cup. So I take Michael's point at 2-0 down very, 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 very much. But we've all called for a challenge in the FA Cup.
Luke penning quite rightly, I feel for those who've travelled. Yeah. Man, 330 miles one way, that is.
Oh, so that's one way, isn't it? Yeah, jeez. Right, Barrow have got it at the back with Platt. Out it goes to Grayson and back home.
Simon Barrow. This needs Wardock.
Yeah, Barrow are in a position where you can just knock the ball about at the back now. They've got a 2-goal lead.
There you go from James.
Yeah, that could be box office, Terry Butcher at halftime, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I do and I don't look forward to that.
I'm just watching. I've just had a view of the Ipswich crowd. Yeah, they look like Well, they look shell shocked, don't they? No.
Hardy souls. We've got a free kick to Barrow just inside the town half. As the club stoops to new lows, Barrow 2, Ipswich 0. Clip that bit out, Rich.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one for the Twitter. Yeah.
I just keep drinking, I think.
Cheers, everyone. Yeah, man.
Cheers.
Blimey. I'm on the ghost ship tonight.
Speaking of Graysons, there is good old Simon Grayson in the stand there. Recently dispersed from Fleetwood. Here comes Stevens down the right. Stevens crosses in, headed clear by
That's obvious, isn't it?
Jones. Banks. Nice ball by Banks down to Stevens, crossing position on the right. I hate to say it, but they're toying with us a little bit here. Banks to Jones to Banks. Fed to Brown. Good football, this. Stevens inside. Gotts. Brown. Very good move, this. Jones slowed down a little bit. There's one round the corner, nearly fed through to Gotts. And Matt Penny sticks his foot through the ball and clears it. Norwood, I'll give Norwood some credit on utter scraps, has put in a couple of tackles and done some pressing.
We made 5 subs at half time. Is that just other?
I've got no idea. I think that's time sensitive to 5 subs, isn't it?
I think it might be EFL trophy, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If anyone knows on Facebook, obviously, because we can't see what's going on YouTube. I'm heading over there now. Let's see what I've got. Simon Palmer says 5 subs.
Grant Hull is going to love this. Grant
Hull.
It's a free kick to Barrow, attacking free kick down the left-hand side. Going to stick this in the box. Jones coming forward. Platt, the slightly larger centre-back. And, of course, trouble from set plays, a goal and a decent chance as well.
So Joe Grayson, according to Luke Penning, Simon Grayson's dad. Simon Grayson is the son, is the father. Oh, for goodness sake, come on, Rich.
Joe Grayson is Simon Grayson's son, Richard. That's why he's there.
Sorry, I just get my brain is melted.
Right, here comes this attacking set play for Barrow. I mean, just get to half time at 2-0 Ipswich, for God's sakes.
FPL Tractor, John McGreal said he's famous for his subs. John McGreal's also famous for not being in charge for a single Cultures to win in the FA Cup during his managerial tenure there, by the way.
Ouch. In comes the free kick near post, headed away by El Mazzuni. Jackson hoiks that long and...
Balls. Whatever is going to happen on Saturday in front of 29,000. Well,
yeah. If the game goes ahead.
Oh, here we go. David Diamond, you still going, chaps? Question mark. Is BB giving it the it's rubbish?
We get Dave on to do that later if he wants to. If he wants to drop in, there's no need for me to do it. We all know it's rubbish.
Is it Ollie Banks, the guy with the ponytail?
It is, yeah. He's playing well, actually.
He's got the Will Keynes about him, hasn't he?
A bit more mobile, I think, isn't he? Free kick to Ipswich Town, an attacking set play on the right-hand side. 2 minutes before half-time. Can we get the most undeserved goal in the history of football here and go into half-time 2-1? I wonder. Burgess forward, Nsiala forward, Norwood forward, Jackson forward. El Mazzuni is over the free kick. No, he's not. Fraser is over the free kick. He's going to swing it in with the left foot as we come up 44 minutes. One arm up from Fraser. Can we get a good delivery and first contact? It seems the only hope. Fraser swings it in. Decent looking ball and headed behind by Platt. Decent delivery there. All on tender hooks there, Rich.
Oh, exciting double set piecage.
We crossed the ball and it went near the goal. It's a corner, which I assume Fraser will take. Being it's over that side again. It was a good delivery last time. Can we get first contact on this one? Referee is just having a word with Idris El Mazzuni on the goal line, who is having some fun and games with Brown, the right wing back. I don't know if this is a familiar EFL ref. Can I get a name? Referee Bell. I'll say no more. Corner then. Fraser, one arm up. In it goes, left-footed. Jackson's there on the near post. There's a flick on, I think, by Burgess. And it's by far the best chance of the half for Town.
Hey, we're getting better.
We're in nicest guy in jail territory here, but Burgess doesn't get any kind of contact on that, and he, like most of this 11, looked completely punch drunk after this atrocious first half performance by Ipswich.
Corner, we've got more play. They got everyone back, and we've got about 5 players on the edge of the penalty area. Just chuck bodies in here. I just don't get the point. I just don't get it. 2
minutes of stoppage time. We've played one of them now. So this interminable first half is nearly over. We'll do the numbers and then we're going to stop this feed and we'll see you back ready for... Yeah. We'll go live at kickoff, shall we, Rich, in the second half?
Yeah.
There's one into the channel. Gordon chases behind down the left wing. Gordon's alive to that ball down the channel. In it goes, and Penny has to come across and deal with that one. Didn't look massively convincing. Norwood, don't dive in there. Oh, God, I thought red card incoming there. He didn't. Well played by Norwood, much calmer than I gave him credit for. 20 seconds minimum stoppage time remaining. Norwood knocks it in to Carroll, who is playing. Here is Luco, who's coming to the centre of midfield temporarily. Fraser. Carroll. 5 more seconds of the first half to go. Carroll's got it again.
The worst Ipswich performance I think I've ever saw was the 5-1 home defeat by Wimbledon in 2003. This must be running it close.
And the halftime whistle has gone. And an atrocious first half by Ipswich. Completely rudderless, completely terrified, risk-averse, everything you want to say. Richard, Barrow, good value for a 2-0 lead. I think 2-0 is just about right for this game. If it was 1-0, I'd be saying Barrow deserved more.
We'd be saying we had a chance as well.
So bad from Town. Rich, any thoughts on that? And just tell the lovely people watching where they can find the second half.
Yeah, so if you're already watching on Twitter, then come back out. And as soon as we restart, it will reappear there. We'll retweet that out again. If you're on YouTube, you should already have another video for the second half in your subscriptions. Hopefully, if you haven't already subscribed, why haven't you? Ping us a subscription in there, but you'll see it in our feed in YouTube. I will tweet that out at halftime as well. If you're watching on Facebook, it should be a similar deal to YouTube. There should already be another broadcast set up, ready to go. If you back out of this one, it should be in our Blue Monday feed there. So should be exactly how you found us the first time is exactly the way you should find us for the second. But
so
then all the issues we talked about from minute one, this outcome, this scoreline is no surprises because of that, is it?
No, absolutely not. Barrow, as we said, good value for it. By far the better side. One chance in the first half, a quarter chance. Burgess not really connecting with a set play virtually in stoppage time in the first half. So it's a really, really dreadful performance. Look, shall we hang up this one, Richard? And we will return in probably about 10 minutes. We'll try and get to you ahead of the second half starting. So I'm going to hit the outro, guys. And if you dare, join us for the second half in about 10 minutes. And if you can't find it, Richard, can we get the links on the Twitter?
Yeah, I'll stick the links up.
Yeah, if you can't find it, we will return very, very soon. Right. See you in 10 minutes. Barrow 2, Ipswich 0.